Hello, and welcome back to the channel. As most of you know, I'm Topher. And for those of you who don't know and just randomly decided to click on a video, welcome to the channel. I'm Topher. Thank you for stopping by. So we're here to do a reaction, and we're diving back into the Miracle of Teddy Bear. We're diving into episode 2. Episode 1 was fantastic, and I look forward to this journey that we're going to go on. I think in episode 1 I had said that it's a long series and like each episode's an hour and a half long and there's like 10 episodes. I think I was just mistalking and whatnot. Yeah, and a lot of you guys were quick to tell me no, it's 16. I'm like, oh yes, 16. Even more so illustrates the fact it's a long series, so it's going to take me some time to get through it, but you know what, we're going to get through it. It's we're just going to get through it. It's going to be a fun little journey, mostly. I know there's going to be emotions, and that's part of the game. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. Everything's fine. It'll be good. But one thing I said last episode is I mentioned that I might introduce you guys to one of my stuffed animals, since we got to meet one of Tofu, well, one of Nut's stuffed animals, Tofu. There we go. I got my Sully. There's my Sully. He's one of the only 4 men that I allow to sleep in my bed every damn night. And maybe next episode I'll introduce you guys to another one of them. But I love my Sully, and he's gonna be our little special guest for this episode. So we're gonna dive in and just see where this episode takes us. All right, so me and Sully, we got lots of questions. Our mind, the problem, and not really a problem, but for my brain, the problem with these episodes being so long is that there is so much information to digest. There's so many things that happened that I need to process, and try to recap everything that happened is difficult because there was so much. Like, every episode is a movie in itself, and it's like trying to recap all the details of a movie. But let's see, where did we start off? We started off with Mama. She was cooking breakfast with Daddy. And immediately I started feeling some type of way. And I wasn't quite sure why, but I felt like they were setting something up for me in that instance, because Nut, since last episode, has been very adamant about Dad not being here. He's not coming back. He's had daddy issues. So then I was like, okay, Dad, they are divorced, separated, or something like that, and it just didn't go over well with Nut, and Nut is he's got daddy issues. Okay, but then, like, the way he would be so violently aggressive about it made me feel like, okay, maybe it's not that they're not together, maybe he is just gone. Daddy is dead. And then Nut was saying there, in the number of times that he blew up at her in the first half of the episode, that Dad's dead, he's never coming back, blah blah blah, and like breaking her heart, shattering her emotions. And then I'm like, okay, so Dad's dead, and she is doing one of a couple of things. My brain was going a couple different places with what potentially was going on with her. Either he's dead and she's having trouble moving on. She's having trouble letting go, and so she's still seeing him. She's seeing him around her, which is not uncommon. I just got done seeing my friend in a production of Next to Normal, and if you've seen that musical, you know it's all centered around a woman a family who lost their oldest son when he was a baby, and she's basically being haunted by this ghost. Not really haunted, but like nobody else sees it. She's the only one who sees it, and she's going through therapy, medication, this, that, the other, and it's tearing the family apart, this, all kinds of things. But she's the only person seeing this apparition or this ghost or this feeling, however you want to categorize it. So it's a very, very real thing for someone to have experienced a loss of someone that they hold very dear to them, and to still see them. Whether you want to call it a hallucination or them imagining this, or if you believe in the supernatural and you believe that their ghost or their spirit is actually with them, and whatever it may be, it's not uncommon for people to lose someone and then to see them around in their day-to-day life for whatever reason. So I was thinking, okay, either that's the case where she's just having trouble letting go of him for whatever reason, and so she sees him. She she conjures the image of him in her day-to-day life, and it keeps her company and it brings her some semblance of peace. But at the same time, it brings nothing but, anger, despair, sorrow, because like, hey, he doesn't want this constant reminder of the fact that his dad's dead and his mom can't seem to let go and move on and move past it. Another alternate way I was going about it is, well, he's dead, and his ghost is really there. Okay, we're gonna go the supernatural. Why not? The teddy bear already done came to life, and all the furniture sitting here talking. So why couldn't we have ghosts? So that could have been an alternative. And then a third way I was going, and as the episode went on a little bit more, I was kind of leaning a little bit down this rabbit hole. Was that she was having like memory issues of sorts. Not necessarily Alzheimer's or anything like that, but like she's having some sort of memory issues, and it could be triggered from a traumatic event like her husband passing, or it could just be genetics. It could just be the luck of the draw or the unluck of the draw, and it's something that she has. But I was leaning towards it being more of a medical thing, like, hey, she's constantly bringing up dad sent him here, sent the little prince to be with me. Dad didn't send anybody. Stop talking about dad. He's never coming back. Dad is dead. He's never coming back, blah 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 blah. And she's not processing that. She's not remembering that fact, or she doesn't want to remember that. My brain was splitting off into so many like ideas, and then sub ideas, and then sub ideas. So these are just like the three major branches, but there are like sub branches to each one of these that I don't want to go into too much detail, because I just want to see how things play out a little bit more. But I was kind of leaning towards that route once we got to the point when it was the next morning after that initial fight, and she went off wandering and walking by herself, and they were setting it up like, oh god, she's about to like do something to harm herself. She's about to go drown herself in this lake, to be with her husband, blah blah blah, because Nut finally broke the facade. Like, all his yelling and screaming finally just like was the last straw that broke the camel's back, and she's about to go be with her husband, be with her maker. So they're kind of like leading us down that rabbit hole, and then it was kind of like a red herring. Haha, just kidding. It wasn't even her. She wasn't nowhere near the lake. She walked by the lake, and then she kept walking. Like, nothing to do with her. And then she went back to the old house where there were, again, memories, old memories, and she's holding on to these old memories, and it just made me feel more like it might be a memory issue or something, psychological, versus like just her not being able to deal with a husband's death or something like that. And then especially when she was standing by the lake, and like the people in the car were just driving by like, hey, is that Nah? Stop the car, we gotta go and investigate. I'm like, why would we have that adverse of a reaction to her just being outside if it weren't something like that? Like, we kind of established a little bit early in the episode when we first met the three neighbors, when Tofu was meeting the three neighbors, and they're like, she's never needed a caretaker before, why would she need a caretaker now? This, that, the other, making it seem like, okay, maybe her health is in some sort of decline or something, to the point where she needs a caretaker now. So now that she's out and about just roaming the streets, it's like, oh my god, this is something serious, we gotta go get her. What is she doing out here? Like, it just felt like they were making a big deal about her standing outside in this park, but I don't feel like they would make that big a deal if there wasn't some true reason for concern, if that makes sense. So I was going down that route, but then they were also introducing this other storyline about this guy who got jumped and left on a train track somewhere, and I'm like, I don't know how the fuck I feel about this storyline. This but I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna wait and see how it plays out a little bit more, because again, it's a very long series. There's a lot of time for us to develop this, but it feel like the initial introduction to the storyline just made me feel like, what is this? It felt like such a departure from just the general kind of feel or theme of the series that I've seen thus far. But granted, we're only in the second episode. But like, it felt like it was trying to go down a murder mystery kind of route, like almost like a Not Me or a Manner of Death, like a very suspenseful mystery kind of route. And I feel like that's not what the first episode was taking me down. It's not what the rest of the episode, like everything outside of that scenario was not taking me down that route. So I'm like, why? It just feels out of place, but I'll wait and see how that pans out. But yeah, once they tried to introduce that storyline, the second the guy came to visit his nephew, I didn't say anything in that moment, but I was sitting here thinking, I'm like, is that the same actor that we were having the hallucinations for before, as Nuts Daddy? That I'm like, okay, no, maybe I'm just misremembering what his daddy looked like. I mean, because I remember seeing his daddy, I'm like, oh, he fine, and I'm like, okay, this guy kind of fine too, okay, but maybe it's just different actors. But then as the episode went on and we had like the hotel conference or whatnot with the company, he walked up and like, oh, Mr. not Sean, son, and I was like, okay, that's Nuts Daddy's name, so is he not dead? Because if he's not dead, then that throws a wrench in some of the theories that I was having about his mama and why she's hallucinating. Because like, if he's not dead, then okay, their relationship ended, I imagine. So maybe it's a divorce and she's not taking the divorce well, or again, it might be a memory issue or something. I don't know. Again, this is where my brain is like splitting into like 15 different branches as to possible outcomes of what could be happening here. But yeah, so it seems as though Daddy is alive, and the guy in the hospital, so that's his nephew. So that would make that Nuts' cousin, I guess. A cousin that we don't know about or aren't close with, because then I guess if we were, he might have been alerted that he was in the hospital. I don't know. Again, plenty of time for us to go down rabbit holes and explore these things. I'm just spitballing where my brain is right now. Let me scrub through the episode. Yeah, so that whole storyline with the nephew and the being jumped and whatnot, I don't know how I feel that. It just feels out of place right now, but we'll see how it fits in later. This Jan neighbor lady also keeps giving me vibes. I'm like, I don't know who she is, but I don't like her. And just from the last episode, I didn't really feel one way or the other about her and the other neighbors, other than they're kind of like nosy neighbors here for comedic relief. But this entire episode, every interaction we had with her, I'm like, I don't like you. I don't like you as a character, and I'm meant to not like you. But why am I meant to not like you? Who are you? Who are you to this family? Who are you to this dynamic that I don't like you? Why do I not like you? Why are they writing you in such a way that I'm not supposed to like you? Who are you? You can't just be some random, I mean, you could just be some random neighbor who is nosy and we don't get along with, but I feel like that's a wasted opportunity and a waste of screen time for a series like this, because the series is like been highly praised. It's been highly praised from just about everybody that I've talked to, and they've been singing its praises nonstop. So I feel like a series that's been so highly praised wouldn't waste time with little bit characters like that for no reason. So I don't know who she is and what relevance she's gonna have to the storyline, if any, but I don't like her. What else? Like I've said a million times, Nut has some intense emotional management issues that he needs to work on, because regardless of what the situation is with his mom, whether it is her just in an emotional state where she can't let go of the past relationship, or if it is a mental illness where she's just has memory issues and she can't get past this particular memory point, she doesn't remember certain things and whatnot, regardless of what avenue we go down, yelling and screaming at her is not the way to reach her. That is not the way to rationalize with her, especially once she starts crying and like yelling back. Like, that is not how you are going to reach your mom or get her to stop bringing up your dad. And I feel like he gets very hot-headed in these 2 episodes we've seen. He has very intense emotions, and he doesn't quite know how to manage them. So he flies off on a handle on anyone who's around and gets very hot-headed and aggressive. And it's like, baby, you need to calm down, you need to breathe, and we need to just talk. He needs to talk to somebody. If it's not one of the people in the house, a trained medical professional, like he has emotional management issues that need addressing. But a lot of them are probably stemming from, again, the breakdown of whatever marriage between, his mom and dad, the fact that mama keeps bringing up the marriage, because I can imagine that is a terribly frustrating thing to have to go through, to have this person, your dad, who is no longer in your life, and to have your mom constantly remind you of it and pretend like everything is okay and pretend like he's still here and like he's some fixture in life. I can understand how frustrating that would be. So I understand where his anger and frustration is coming from, but he needs to manage it better, and he needs to learn to articulate it better than just screaming and grabbing and yelling and throwing things and all that kind of stuff. So I feel like that's going to be part of his journey, part of his character arc. I hope that's part of his journey. If not, Lord help us. Let's see, scribbling through the episode some more. So mama's home safe and sound. We had that one little brief moment when cute little delivery boy was dropping off food, and Nut, got the food from him, and then Tofu saw his face and felt some type of way, and he was getting like some sort of tingle feel and whatnot, and I'm like, okay, am I supposed to ship these two together? Do they know each other? Like, what's going on here? Then still haven't fully gotten an answer. They kind of left us on that cliffhanger on how they know each other, or how he knows this Nung character. But he knows this Nung character who has the same face as Tofu, which has to mean something. Again, for a series that is this highly regarded, I don't think that they would have that be a plot point if it wasn't supposed to mean something. So where is this Nung character? I don't know. Is he dead? And is that why he took on his appearance? Because he's dead? Or is he in a coma somewhere? Or is he just off living in Germany, chilling, partying? Like, where is he? Why did Tofu take on this particular appearance? Is it because that was his first love? So the higher magical powers up there just have a sick sense of humor, and they're like, okay, we're just gonna fuck with this kid. Like, why? There's got to be a reason. Again, there's this whole company storyline with the guy in the hospital, and I don't understand where that's going. And then we had that brief moment where Tofu fainted because he was looking at the laundry and got dizzy, and then in his fainting, the guy in the hospital woke up momentarily. And I don't know if that was like Tofu almost potentially trading bodies and then, coming back real soon. Or, like, I don't know what connection Tofu has to this person as well. So many connection questions that I got. So I don't know what it is with Tofu and this particular person who's in the coma, what connection they have. Is he the person who gave Nut Tofu? Because someone important gave Nut this bear at some point in time. I assumed it was Daddy. But, you know, it may not have been Daddy, because at this point, Nut's got all kind of daddy issues, so I doubt that he would want to hold on to some sort of remembrance of Daddy, since he keeps trying to erase every reminder of him in the household. So maybe Daddy didn't give it to him. So I was like, okay, maybe Nung gave him to him. That's why he looks like Nung. Maybe this cousin person gave it to him. I don't know. We just gotta wait and see. I'm just spitballing everything that's in my head right now. What else? Yeah, that's pretty much the majority of it. So, like, the episode does a lot of good things. There's a lot of good things happening here. I know you guys are probably watching my Topher thoughts like, man, he is not liking this. Oh, he is. I'm like, no, that's not the case. I'm just confused about a lot of things, but I'm not stressing so much about the confusion right now. I'm just putting that stuff out into the universe so you guys know where my brain is, where my thought process is right now with certain things. But I'm not stressing about them so much because I feel like these questions are going to be answered in time. So I'm not too worried. I have questions. That's it. But the show does a lot of good things. There are a lot of really nice moments between Nut and Tofu. There's some great cinematography. Soundtrack is fantastic as always. Acting is fantastic. That fight between Mom and Nut in the earlier part of the episode, oh my god. And like, I kept sitting here screaming like, y'all, this is the second episode. Why are we going so hard, so heavy, so early? Like, y'all, we still got 14 episodes left of this. What are y'all trying to do? But yeah, like, they are going in with these emotions. So like, the acting is fantastic. I just got lots of questions. That's it. Me and Sully got lots of questions. Oh, I just realized that my camera has frozen. I don't know how long my camera has been frozen. Oh, okay. Well, now I'm all overexposed and my camera settings got reset. Okay, well, that's fun. So that's a good place for me to end this. I hope you guys enjoyed this reaction. If you did, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share, turn on notifications to be notified when all of my shenanigans get posted. If there's anything else you'd like me to react to, be sure to leave it down in the comments and I'll get to it as soon as I possibly can. If you'd like to support the channel in other ways, you're more than welcome to join us over on Patreon. You don't have to, but you're more than welcome to if you want to. And I'll see you guys in my next video. Love you.